Hey guys, karibu sana here again at the Makena YouTube channel where we talk and tackle everything including mental health issues. On our third episode, I'm having a guest who will tell us and teach us and educate us on mental health issues, spiritually among men and much more. Karibu sana mgeni wangu.
Thank you, Makena. Thank you for hosting me in this channel. So I begin by introducing myself. I'm Seminarian John Mwangi from Embu Parish. I study in Christ the King Major Seminary, and I'm in my 7th year of priesthood formation. So today we'll be discussing on mental health awareness, and our theme will be the source for better health, improving men's health outcome through our cultures, communities, and connections. So I welcome as we begin our sharing.
You'll begin, John, by introducing the topic as you have done and telling us on the science of mental health in men. Where did it begin? Why are we here as a society, as a community, as a country, as a nation?
So thank you, Makena, thank you. So I want to begin with it in the scriptural basis. And as we all know, man was created in God's image and likeness. And that we find in Genesis chapter 1, verse 27 to 28. And because man was created in God's image, it means God wanted man to prosper. And that's why he told them, be fertile, multiply, and fill the earth. So when we are discussing about mental awareness or mental issues in men, and mostly young men, I want to discuss about young men, it's a matter that is very heavy. It's a matter that is killing the society slowly. And because God wanted man to be happy, any issue that affects our mental health now becomes a barrier to that achievement of God's purpose in our life. And by the virtue of being created in God's image, then it also means that we are supposed to be happy, we are supposed to be jovial, we are supposed to be social, and we are supposed to be people who prosper in life. And some of the signs that we find that indicates that someone has mental illness, one of them is aggression and violence. And you may bear with me that those who are undergoing mental challenges, or those who are undergoing spiritual or issues that are affecting their mental challenges, they tend to be so aggressive. They tend to be so resistant to change. And some of them, they tend to be violent. Because there is a difference between aggression and violence. Aggression is that attitude that you feel you don't want to be told anything. But violence now is physical. Someone becomes physical because of his mental issues, because that person has not been able to share the issues he is going through. The other sign is high risk activities. Some men, and I want to discuss about men mostly, because of what they are going through, they tend to take risky activities so that they suppress what they are going through in their mind. And this is seen by, you see, a man who is not able to do a certain thing, but he is forcing himself. At the end, he risks his or her life at the end of the day. The other one is substance abuse, and this is common among young people.
Before we get to the substance abuse, Seminarian John, could you tell us an example of a high-risk activity?
A high-risk activity is you find someone, generally he knows he is weak. He has built a weaker person, but he wants to take up more responsibility than he can handle. So that you find a person, instead of handling one issue at a time, he takes more than 2 or 3 issues. You find a young person is newly employed in an office, but he wants to work like someone who has worked there for 20 years. He is told by the boss, you can do this, yes I can do. I can do this, yes I can do. So you find you merge so many issues at once. At the end of the day, that person experiences burnout. And that burnout now leads to depression. He says, I'm being misused, yet he had the freedom to say no. I can only handle this much, so don't overburden me with such issues. So that's one example. Okay. So once you come to substance abuse, everything is known. We know how much drugs have affected people, especially young people.
Yeah.
You find that someone is a perpetual alcoholic, someone uses all kinds of drugs to suppress what he is going through. And I want to say that this is because sometime the society has seen that instead of helping a person, you lack an avenue to share your things. So instead, if you go to share with a person, instead of that person helping you or guiding you in the correct way, that person goes gossiping your issues that you have shared with him or her. So at the end of the day, you see, if no man or no woman can be trusted, then I rather take drugs. I feel high for some few minutes, then the stress goes away, then it comes back in the morning. That's the essence of substance abuse. Now the other sign is the physical. There are physical issues. You find someone has perpetual headaches or stomach aches or issues with the body. Not because that person is sick. No, he goes to hospital, he is told you're not sick, you're tested for malaria, nothing comes out. For pneumonia, nothing comes out. But it is because the mental aspect has been forgotten. That person is not able to take care of his mental health. And as we know, if your mental health is not good, then it affects your entire body. So that aspect, that system of the problems begins from your mental health to your body immediately. Then the other one is feeling restless and difficulty in focusing. You find that some people are very restless. They are never comfortable where they are. Someone is always saying, someone is after me. Someone wants to destroy my life because he is restless. His mind is not well stable. So he becomes a very unstable person. He becomes a person who does not even value himself. So when we talk about the issue in difficulty on focusing, you find that a young person is given a responsibility, but because that person is not confident enough, he has stress issues in the mind, then he is unable even to deliver the simplest job. And that's why some years back, the government and most corporations skipped the issue of depending on degree papers only. They went into the system of practicality of things, because in the practical aspect is where you find the person's efficiency. So if a person is not well up in the mental health, then that person lacks focus in life. The other sign is appetite and weight loss. And this is a double-edged sword. There are those who with mental illness or mental problems, they cut down on their appetite. But there are those with mental illness, they overeat and they become diabetic. And hence, you can either gain or lose weight depending on which level you are in. No, the other thing is fatigue. You find a person does a very small thing, a very small task, but within 5 or 10 minutes, that person is already tired. Or you find that person anasema nimechoka na maisha. That's a very dangerous sign. Because that fatigue will lead to something else. That person won't be reluctant, he will be depressed, he will withdraw from people, and the end will be catastrophic. Then the last one is obsessive thinking. There are those people, they cannot stay without overthinking. Thinking is good because our mind is meant to think from now and then, but overthinking or obsessive thinking is a danger to your life, because sometimes you even need to relax your body. You need to relax your mind. That's why sometimes you are told, take a break. Like we're told in computer, there's this aspect called ergonomics, that you're not supposed to type for long. Maybe after 45 minutes, you're supposed to wake up and walk to reduce that issues of health. But if you're mentally unstable, you will force yourself to overthink, to overdo some things. Now, those are some of the signs of mental illness. There are many of them, but these are the few ones that I saw that they are common and they need to be discussed.
What do you think is leading us there? What do you think is leading us to these mental illnesses? You as men, what do you think is leading so many men into those circumstances?
So thank you so much. Now I go back to the genesis of man, where man came from. And in the introductory bit, we have said about man being created in the image of God.
Yeah.
But later on, when we read in the scripture, we find that man fell into sin.
Yeah.
That is Genesis chapter 3. That aspect of sin, because man was in close communication with God.
Yeah.
Man was in that harmony with God, because he was placed in the Garden of Eden.
Yeah.
And we know the Garden of Eden is the garden of joy, the garden of fullness, the garden of God's presence.
Yeah.
But once man committed sin, then that man fell into sin. But the danger came here, because man was told to stay there and to eat of every fruit. But they were given some conditions. Don't eat of this fruit.
Yeah.
But because man was created with freedom, man is different from robot who uses codes. Man has freedom. So Adam and Eve fell into sin. But because man, Adam, the first man, was unable to accept that he is weak, that he has committed sin, when God came looking for him, he said, I am naked, or we are naked.
Yeah.
And God asked them, who told you that you are naked?
Yeah.
Have you eaten of the forbidden fruit?
Yeah.
And Adam, in response, he said, the woman that you placed here with me gave me the forbidden fruit. And that becomes the source of every problem in life. The aspect of denial. We don't want to accept our mistakes.
Yeah.
Some of us as young people, we make mistakes, but we don't to accept. We want to always blame others.
Yeah.
And that blame game now brings in the aspect of, I'm not responsible. I'm too proud to accept what I'm going through. And most men, they hide their feelings. They hide their feelings because of the pride they have. And that pride leads to so many issues, including mental health. And that's why it's very vital that we talk on the issues of mental health in close connection with our spiritual aspect of life. How committed are we to spiritual life? How committed are we to being honest with God, with others, and with ourselves? Because if we are honest with ourselves, then we find that we are able to say, I'm not well. I'm able to reach out. And because God created us in his own image and likeness, he is always ready to have us back to his garden, so that we may be able to enjoy the fruits of life.
How do you think we can maintain and improve our mental health?
So thank you so much. You see, mental health, it's something and going back to the theme of our month, we have the aspect of culture, communities, and connections in dealing with mental health. So the very first person who is able to realize that he or she is undergoing certain issues in the mental health is the individual himself. So once you accept yourself, once you accept that I need help, then I'm able to reach out. Now, one of the ways that we can be able to improve also maintain our mental health is regular exercise. You see, some in the current generation, even even in primary school, you find a child in grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, that child, that girl, that young boy, he or she is overweight because that person is eating excessively. Maybe at home, every morning the diet is like you're eating lunch, breakfast, and supper combined together. So when you lack that aspect of exercise, that now becomes a problem, because the food we eat is meant to sustain our bodies, is meant to sustain our good health, but you must exercise. And that's why in schools there's that aspect. Even if there are studies, there's a subject called PE, physical education, which is very vital. So once you exercise, your brain relaxes and you become more comfortable. That's why even if you study so much, then you refuse to take a break. Whatever you study cannot help you, because your brain is overwhelmed, your brain is tired, and your brain has not relaxed. The other aspect is healthy eating. And by healthy eating, I know the current generation we are facing in, and the current state of economy, you are unable, some are unable to to eat, to have 3 meals in a day.
Yeah.
But healthy eating does not mean you eat every now and then. It means eating something that is healthy, because even our brains depend on healthy foods so that it may grow.
Yeah. But to be honest, so many of us are going the other way around. There is no way during lunch you'll find a youth or somebody or just a man somewhere going to find something healthy to eat. Yeah.
I think it's the Western, sorry to cut you, it's the Western mentality we have.
Yeah.
That in our African culture, we had foods like, we also have foods like managus, like tereres, those traditional mokimos, ugari, githeri, all those food were good. But because of the Western culture now, you go to a hotel, you take someone out, maybe you have been taken out by your fiance or your husband or your boyfriend. Instead of ordering something healthy, chips, chicken, pizza, or those are Western food. Yeah. They are not bad, but you're not supposed to eat them regularly. It's from time to time. Yeah. So it's a matter of us knowing what to eat. Then the other thing is, the other way you can improve is making sleep a priority. The issue of insomnia. Some deny themselves sleep. If you don't sleep well, your brain, you wake up tired. The other one is you try relaxing exercises. There are those who go for yoga. There are those who go for so many exercises cross country, just to relax your mind. There's those go for aerobics. So those activities, they really help your body and your brain to relax. The other one is setting goals and priorities. Some of us young people, we don't have goals, we don't have priorities. So anything that comes, we take it as our goals and our priorities. Goals that we cannot be able to achieve, sometimes we stress our brain. The other one is you practice gratitude. Be thankful for what you have. Don't overstretch. I wish I had this, I wish I had this. Just be grateful to God. Every morning you wake up, say thank you to God. I am alive, I have parents, I have these things, and I have the other things. The other one is you focus on positivity. Yes, the economy may be bad. Maybe you may finish campus and you lack employment, but focus on the positive. I was able to go through university education. I was able to go through high school education. Thank God I have been able. Some have not. Focus on what you have achieved and start now working on that. And the very last thing is you stay connected. Stay connected with individuals. That's on that. The few points we have discussed is on the individual level. But when it comes to the community level, there are a few things that we need to know. One of them, if it's the aspect of listening. As a community, do we listen to those people? And listening is not just saying and talking to someone. Listening is just hearing and understanding that person so that you're able to give that conditions or that. Then the other one is offering reassurance. Always tell a person, even if you're going through challenges, there are better things ahead. And that's why personally I believe that no matter how I wake up in the morning, even if I'm feeling down, I always say thank you to God, because the gift of life is a sure sign enough that I'm needed in this world. Then the other aspect of staying calm, there are those people who are, when they are depressed, they tend to be violent. They tend to be arrogant, or some aspect of physicality. Don't engage in exchange of physical. Just stay calm. If you're not able to stay calm, just ensure there is someone there to keep just a safe distance, and you give that person enough time to calm down. The other one is be patient. Don't hurry in guiding person. That's why you find those who guide, those counselors and psychiatrists, they are very patient with their patients. That's why, because mental health or any issues in life, it is treated in stages. The other one is try not to make assumptions. Don't say because this person has issues in mental, maybe he did something, maybe he has taken drugs,
Yeah.
that person may be undergoing a lot of challenges. But if you make assumption, that person will cut himself off from you.
Yeah.
And the very last thing is keeping social contact.
Yeah.
If you encounter a person with mental issues, ensure that every now and then you keep contact. How are you doing? How are you progressing? If it's your patient and your psychiatrist, ensure to know, because counseling is not just counseling the individual. You also have to go back to where that person comes from. Even if I counsel that individual, is the environment conducive enough for that person? Because you can counsel a person, but the environment he goes back to now negates everything that you have done in that session. And this basically is what we see in the ministry of Christ. Christ was here to redeem human beings. And because Christ did his work, and after his death, resurrection, and ascension, he went back to heaven. He left us as agents of that change. So are we kind enough? Are we conscious enough to understand that people need our help, that people need our guidance, that people need our reasoning ear, so that they may be able to come out of their mental issues?
We said we're not professional mental health advocates, but we are coming together as a society, as a community for mental wellness. If you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, kindly do subscribe for more and more and more. Do you have a parting shot for us?
My parting shot will be some few points of conclusion. And I'll start to begin by saying that all of us have issues. All of us have issues, be it minor or major. And because we have those issues now, we need to ask ourselves, what is it that we can do as people, as men, as women, as young people, as young men, so that we can be able to help each other? And I want to give just five quick ideas, or the so-called the five spheres of healthcare. And one is relationship to self. Are you able to realize that you need a relationship with yourself? Is it positive enough? Are you able to realize that as a person, I need help? That only can be known if you have a genuine relationship with yourself. The other one is relationship to others. Are you able to reach out? Are you in close contact with others, or you're that person who isolates himself from others? The other one is relationship to environment. The environment you are living in. Are you conscious enough to realize that there are some negatives and that there are some positive in the environment? If you realize that one, then it means you realize the positive and you focus on them. The negative, you leave them aside. The other one is, especially this affects young people, is relationship to work and money. The so-called aspect of gambling.
Right now, the finance bill is
taking
a
toll on people.
Yeah.
So you find people, those who are depressed a lot, they will tend to overwork to get enough money to sustain their lifestyle. But you may overwork and forget that you're dealing with people. Be a people person. Don't value so much money. Don't value money so much. Money is there, but you're not supposed to strain yourself. You're not supposed to kill yourself to earn that money. And the other sphere is relationship to technology. And this technology is positive. Like right now, what you're doing. We are helping people to overcome mental challenges. But there are those who are addicted to negative use of technology. So how I wish that we can embrace more use of technology that is positive, and to give guidance to others through our technology. And I want to conclude by quoting a person who has written a book, John Mason. You are born an original, don't die a photocopy. So as young people, as young men, as young women, as the humankind, let us realize that God created us in his own image and likeness. And that likeness can only be achieved if we cooperate with God and we are genuine to ourselves. So as John Mason says, you're born an original. At all time, strive to improve yourself. Don't compare yourself with others, otherwise you run the risk of being depressed, saying I'm not worthy, and if you're not careful, you find yourself committing suicide because you say, I'm not so like so and so who is successful, because God has given you a portion, and for you to realize it, you must go back to the original setting, the default setting, being created in the image and likeness of God. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John. I think we have, it's not that I think, we have learned so much, we have had so much. I hope this content is going to be of use to you. Use it wisely. Learn, and practice. Thank you so much, John, for being here. And I'm hoping you will come back again.
I'll come back.
If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe. We are also going to leave the tools for Red Clothes here, where you can reach out to people if you're having a mental health issue. Thank you so much.